Good day, Jamaica and members of the diaspora. This is your Jamaica News Roundup. A second employee has died following the explosion at the Guardsman Group compound. The government promises stronger action on road safety after the Trelawny crash that killed 7 people. And new figures reveal a sharp rise in the number of Jamaicans deported to the island. We also examine water restrictions in the corporate area, concerns about maternal mortality, and the latest developments in the Ninja Man's appeal. Subscribe today, turn on notifications, and never miss the stories that matter most. Jamaica News Now, your Highlands, your news, right now. Guardsman Group employee who suffered severe burns during an explosion at the company's South Camp Road compound has died. The company identified him as 43-year-old Damian Walters, who reportedly passed away on Monday while receiving specialized treatment at a burn center in Georgia in the United States. Walters was among 3 employees who sustained third-degree burns during the May explosion at a garage beside the Guardsman Group Beryllium Limited headquarters. The injured workers were later flown overseas for advanced medical care. Another person injured in the explosion died shortly after the incident, making Walters the second confirmed fatality. Investigations into the circumstances surrounding the explosions are continuing. While the tragedy has renewed attention on workplace safety and the protection of employees, handling vehicles, fuel, and other potentially hazardous materials. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says road safety will be treated with the same level of urgency as violent crime following the devastating collision at Bogue Gate in Trelawny, which claimed 7 lives. The crash has intensified calls for stronger enforcement of Jamaica's road traffic laws, improved monitoring of public passenger vehicles, and greater accountability for motorists who repeatedly commit serious offences. Road safety advocates have also renewed demands for outstanding measures under the Road Traffic Act to be fully implemented. The government is preparing to introduce the demerit point system, under which points will be added to a motorist's driving record for specified traffic offences. A driver's license may be suspended after the prescribed number of points is accumulated. The authorities say a zero-tolerance approach will be taken as Jamaica attempts to reduce the number of deaths and serious injuries on its roads. The Planning Institute of Jamaica has reported that 1,317 Jamaicans were deported to the country during 2025. According to the PIOJ, that represented an increase of more than 140% compared to the previous year. The figures come amid heightened public discussion about deportation, reintegration, and Jamaica's involvement in arrangements concerning people removed from other countries. Returned Jamaicans may encounter difficulties obtaining housing, employment, identification documents, and access to mental health or social support services. The increase could place additional pressure on government agencies and community organizations responsible for helping deportees rebuild their lives. It may also strengthen calls for a coordinated national reintegration program designed to reduce homelessness, unemployment, and the risk of deportees becoming involved in criminal activity. The PIOJ has also reported that Jamaica's maternity mortality ratio stood at 150.3 deaths for every 100,000 live births in 2024. The figure reflects the number of women who die from pregnancy-related causes during pregnancy, childbirth, or the period following delivery. Maternal mortality can be influenced by several factors, including delays in accessing emergency care, complications from high-risk pregnancies, shortages of specialist personnel, and underlying illnesses. Health experts have repeatedly stressed the importance of early antenatal care and the rapid identification of potentially life-threatening complications. The newly reported ratio is expected to generate further scrutiny of Jamaica's maternal health services and the resources available at public hospitals. Improving maternal outcomes will require stronger monitoring of high-risk pregnancies, adequate staffing, and reliable access to emergency obstetric care. Residents of Washington Gardens, Marvelly, and surrounding communities are now facing nightly water restrictions because of dry conditions and below average inflows into the National Water Commission supply system. Under the restriction, which took effect on Sunday, July 19th, customers will be without their regular supply between 6 in the evening and 6 the following morning. The regulation will remain in place until further notice. The NWC says the measure is necessary to maintain supplies across the affected communities. Customers are being encouraged to store adequate water when service is available, conserve the commodity, and avoid unnecessary activities such as washing vehicles or using large volumes of treated water outdoors. The Area 4 police say they are working towards recording their lowest ever annual murder rate. Area 4 incorporates the Kingston Central, Kingston Western, Kingston Eastern, and Central police divisions. Police data indicate that the area had recorded 28 fewer murders than during the corresponding period of 2025. The decline comes amid intensified anti-gang operations, targeted patrols, and intelligence-driven policing across several corporate area communities. Despite the improvement, the police say the gains must be protected, particularly in communities with a history of gang rivalry and reprisal killings. Residents are being encouraged to continue sharing information with investigators as the security forces attempt to prevent further violence. Economic analysts are warning that Jamaica could face additional inflationary pressure following a $12.50 increase in the price of automotive diesel. Diesel prices affect far more than motorists. The fuel is widely used in public transportation, agriculture, construction, and the movement of goods. Higher operating expenses can therefore be passed on to consumers through increased transportation charges and higher prices for food and other essential products. The warning comes as households continue to manage elevated living costs. Analysts will be watching upcoming inflation data to determine whether the fuel price increase produces a broader rise in consumer prices or as only a temporary effect. The appeal hearing involving incarcerated dancehall entertainer Desmond Ninjaman Ballantyne and his two co-convicts has been delayed again. The matter is now expected to begin in the Court of Appeal on Wednesday. Ballantyne, his son Janil, and Dennis Clayton were convicted in 2017 for the 2009 murder of Ricardo Johnson, otherwise called Trooper, in Mall Road, Kingston. Ninjaman received a life sentence and was ordered to serve at least 25 years before becoming eligible for parole. The appeal is expected to challenge aspects of the convictions and sentences. However, no ruling has yet been made, and the convictions remain in force unless they are overturned or otherwise altered by the Court of Appeal. Those are some of the major stories reported across Jamaica. The death of another Guardsman employee has deepened the tragedy surrounding May's workplace explosion, while the deadly Trelawny crash has increased pressure on the government to move beyond promises and deliver measurable improvements in road safety. At the same time, new statistics on deportations and maternal deaths highlight serious social and public health challenges requiring sustained national attention. This is Jamaica News Now, bringing you the stories affecting Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. Remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this report so others can remain informed. Thank you for watching. Subscribe today, turn on notifications, and never miss the stories that matter most. Jamaica News Now, your Highlands, your news, right now.